Welcome back to another video of the Linux for Hackers series, and in today's video we are going to look at networking or networking commands. So networking is very important for system administrators and ethical hackers. So it's very important that you know some basic networking commands, okay? So the first command I want to start with is the ifconfig command. So ifconfig is a command that is used to display network interfaces that are available on your machine. So currently I'm on a virtual environment, so I might not have all the network interfaces, but with the ifconfig you can be able to view the interfaces that are available on your machine. Okay, so you can see I only have two interfaces, which is the Ethernet. This is the 0, and then down here I have the loopback interface. Okay, what about if I want to display all the network interfaces? Okay, so if I want all the network interfaces, I'm going to add an -a for all, and with that it's going to display all network interfaces. In case the first command did not show some of the interfaces, the second command will be able to display the other interfaces that have not been displayed. So what if I want to get more details about a particular interface? For example, this is the 0, so I can say ifconfig, then I can say it 0, and with that you can see I can get maybe information for just a single interface. Instead of all the interfaces, you can get information for a single interface. So the other command I want us to look at is the ping command. So the ping command is used to send ICMP echo request, okay? Or in layman terms, it's used to test for connectivity on other devices, okay? So for example, I can say ping 8.8.8.8, and you can see I'm sending ICMP request, and what I'm receiving, what you're seeing in the terminal, is called an ICMP reply. It's called an ICMP reply. You can see now the other machine is replying to tell me that those particular requests that I've sent are reaching, and it's able to reply to me. But with the ping command in Linux, it continues. It doesn't ping like Windows. So for Windows, it pings like 4 times or 5 times, then it stops. But for Linux, it's usually continuous. So what you can do, I'm going to stop that. You can add an -c for the counter. So you can say ping, then -c, then the number of times that I want it to ping, maybe 5 times. Then I'm going to say 8.8.8.8, and you can see it's going to ping 5 times, and then it's going to stop. The other command I want us to look at is the dig command. So the dig command is used to display DNS information about a particular domain, okay? So you can be able to get DNS information about a particular domain. So I'm going to say dig, then I'm going to say maybe google.com. And with that you can see I've been able to get the DNS information. In fact, I've been able to get also the IP address of google.com. So also Ding can do something we call a reverse lookup of an IP address. So for example, down here you can see we have this IP address that we have obtained from the Ding google.com. So what I can do, I can copy that, then I can say dig, then -x, then the IP address, okay? Then enter, and you can see it's going to do a reverse DNS lookup. And with that, I think you should be able to obtain the domain name. And you can see down here, we are able to get the domain name of that particular IP address. Then the other command that does the same thing is the whois command. So the whois is a query and respond protocol that is used to query the database that stores internet resources, registered users, and what basically it does, it gives us information about the owner of that particular domain. Okay, so if I say whois google.com, you should be able to get information about the owner and register of that particular domain, okay? So there is a lot of information here. So you can see the domain name is google.com, then we have the register ID, then the database that it used to look up, whois.macmonitor.com. Then you can see the registration URL, when it was updated, when it was created, and all that information. So the other command I want us to look at is the host command. So the host command, when you say host, then the domain name, it's going to display DNS IP address that belongs to that particular domain, okay? So for example, I can say host, then google.com, and with that you can see I've been able to obtain the IP addresses that are related to that particular domain. So we have another similar command, but this one is hostname. Okay, hostname. Say the hostname, if you had an -i, is going to display the network addresses that belong to that hostname. Okay, so I'm going to say -i. These are the network addresses that belong to my Kali Linux machine. Okay, so this is the loopback address. What if I want to display maybe IPv4 addresses or the local IP addresses that we have? So what I'm going to do, instead of small letter I, I'm going to use the capital I. And with that you can see I'm able to obtain the IPv4 address of this particular machine. The other networking command that I want us to look at is the wget command, which is a powerful non-interactive command line tool that is used to download files from the internet using HTTP, HTTPS, and FTP protocols. Okay. So for example, I'm going to look for an image. So there is this image on your screen that I want to download using the wget command. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this URL up here. I'll go back to my terminal, then I'm going to say wget, then I'm going to paste that URL, then enter, and with that it will download that particular image. So if I say ls, you can see we have that particular image that has been downloaded from that website. So the last command that I want us to look at, I want us to be able to display or to view listening TCP and UDP ports that are running on our system. So, and the tool to do that, it's called the netstat. I'm going to be doing a separate video about netstat. Okay, so netstat, then okay, I'll be adding those options. So netstat -utlp, and with that it will be able to display listening TCP and UDP ports that correspond to different programs on your system. So we have come to the end of the video. Hope you're enjoying the Linux for Hackers series. And if so, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more of the same content. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.